check here. What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
I had yogurt with granola.
Nice. What kind of yogurt is it? Just plain? Or did
Uh,
you go any
like the
fancy yogurt?
yogurt.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. A coffee drinker, orange juice, water. What about a liquid? Did you wash it down
Uh,
with anything?
so I usually drink tea and not too much coffee actually.
Okay.
So
All right. I'm
tea
not a
or water.
coffee drinker either, so I don't know. Never had one. Awesome. Well, I think we're sounding good. Why don't we jump right into it? So why don't you tell my listeners a little bit about what you are raising money for over on Kickstarter right now?
Yeah, so we're racing for our brand is called DR.W, and we're racing for a watch that is both a wristwatch and a pocket watch, and you can change it from a wristwatch to a pocket watch just by a simple twist. It clicks off or it clicks on,
Mm-hmm.
and then you basically get the two watches, so you don't really see it. We didn't do any concessions in the design for either of the two watches.
That's
Uh,
awesome. That's really cool. So where was this just seems like such an ingenious idea here. Where was the idea to kind of put these two great watch designs together and offer it as one like product almost?
Yeah, so my brother he's a doctor, and he had been looking for a nice and a little bit more like modern looking pocket watch for quite a while, but he couldn't really find one he liked. I was into watches already for quite a while. Basically, I got my first watch when I was a small child, and from then, yeah, I don't know. I always found watches. Yeah, I think it's the man's accessory.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, I like watches. So he was looking for a nice pocket watch because he couldn't wear a wristwatch at work because of hygienic reasons.
Oh, right.
And in weekends he used to wear a wristwatch. So and he likes watches as well. So I started thinking a little bit about, so maybe I should make a nice modern pocket watch, but then also start thinking together with David, the friend and business partner I do it together with. So yeah, is there a different way to make a watch hygienic or do something that he's able to wear the watch both at his work and also at home? So
Sure.
then how we came up with the idea to make a watch that is both wrist and a pocket watch. Of course, then we started Googling, looking if we could find anything. You can find some things that are that are both watches, but not really something that doesn't do any concessions or something that is really easy changeable from the one
Sure.
to the other. So yeah, then we basically start thinking about how this could work and how we could develop it. Start looking into click and turn and twist mechanisms. Were inspired by lights and by like the lens of a photo camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that in the video. I thought that was a great twist. No pun intended, actually, in the video of just like these the camera and all the great things that would twist. I thought that was a really great analogy for people to see it and go, oh,
and actually those are also a few of those things are also really the things that inspired us. Also, that's also nice, I think, and it's really that. Yeah, those simple like twist and click that took us a while also to develop because it had to be something like that. It had to be really easy and
Sure.
really easy to change. And then so from our first prototypes, we worked and improved a little bit on the mechanism. So the first prototype, it didn't fall off, but we felt it was still a little bit too easy. So we made the mechanism a little bit more. So you have to do a little bit more fierce push now to turn it and get it off. And now it's really stuck there. So
That's
if
great.
you don't really want to get it off, you won't get it off.
Right. Well, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit further than that. So I always like to start these types of calls too, or these interviews with, if I always find it fascinating when somebody just creates something from, out of nowhere, right? Like a watch, right? So even though that you had this idea and you're like, hey, this might be something that would be great for my brother, or I could definitely see this in the market. What though is the first step for you as a startup? Like, how, where do you go? How do you just all of a sudden I'm a watchmaker? That seems like a big step for an average person to take.
Yeah, so it was and it is still a big adventure. So yeah, we started obviously Googling, just Google and find a lot of information. We also started like so we started a little bit with like a business model canvas and things like that. We also decided after to write like a more classic business like a business plan, just to make sure we covered the most important topics, and some topics were a little bit less important because we knew a little bit more, but it helped us a lot actually to cover really the topics and also think about things we may not have thought of. So it also helped us to think already in the start about logistics and of course the most important part I think is the producer for the watch. And I think our big lesson is, so we did everything with quite a limited budget, and our biggest lesson is to so spend the money wisely that you're spending, and we spend money on finding a good producer. So
Sure. And what kind, I mean, was that something that you or your business partner had any track record in at all? I mean, outside of the power of Google, did you have relationships built in the past or any other businesses that you've ever worked on, or how did you start to discover that? And what were you looking for at that point?
Yeah, so on the design part, we have a really good friend who helped us a lot in the design of the watch. So he has a lot of experience in a lot of mechanical engineering things. So he could help us a lot actually with the system, and also build it robust that it would last for years and years and years. So there we got a lot of help from that friend. Also, we got a lot of help from all kinds of people in our network. I think that's also the key takeaway. We would never have been able to do it without our network. We got a lot of help in all kind of ways. And then for finding the right producer, we used a company, and we first started by looking some webinars from the company to see, and they were for free, to see if they had, if we thought they would be the right party to help us finding a good producer. They had a lot, or they have a lot of experience in the watch industry. So we contacted them, had some contact with them, and they have a startup guide about watches. So how do you start building a watch brand? And how do you find the right producer? So we pay them for the startup guide and also helping us to find a good producer. And besides, we talked through our network with a lot of people that were in retailing, also in the watch industry. We went to watch factories from really high-end Dutch brands to see how it all worked. And we were very interested already from a young age in watches. But it's also good to really see the inside. And
sure.
We opened watches to see how does it all look inside, and it has been a really fun journey. And
so for this journey, from it being an idea and a conception, a thought, to where you are right now with a successful Kickstarter, how long has that journey been?
So I think the idea, I got the idea through my brother about 2 years ago, and from then I started thinking a little bit, developing a little bit, also to as my business partner to do that together. And I think about 1.5 years ago we started like quite seriously. We got a clear idea on how this should work and how we could do it, and then we really start. We started our business officially in January 2017, and we started 3 months before, like working regularly on our company, and then a lot of time went into the designing of the watches and the mechanism behind.
Sure.
And also that the mechanism behind it's done by a friend, and he did it also beside his normal work. So that's sometimes was a little bit hard, and but in the end we're very happy we did this, because we had to give him the whole idea from scratch and tell him everything, every detail, everything we wanted to do. So he had basically the whole concept was in his hands. So we needed somebody that we could really trust, and that we did dare to give the whole idea to.
That's great. So over that 2 year span, what was like the biggest roadblock that you ran into, or like a hurdle that you just couldn't do something you wanted to do? Was there anything that majorly was a big issue?
So I think the hardest part was really the design of the mechanism. So we had to make a mechanism that it was that thin that the watch wouldn't become too thick. So we didn't want the watch to be thicker than 12 millimeters. It's 12 millimeters thick now, including the whole mechanism and everything, and a 43 millimeters diameter. And that was really something that was really important, but that was also something that made it really hard to design it. So it's the mechanism is made now with little spring bars and pins that lock the watch, and it's all extremely tiny material, and that was hard to find out, and also for us it was hard, but for our designer it was even harder to find out everything, and also to make use of existing materials, existing standards, not that we had to make everything custom. So if custom spring bar or anything, that would make the whole project so much more expensive.
Sure.
So that was actually that took us the most time, and that also gave us maybe a little bit delay on what we maybe had hoped for before.
Sure.
We knew that could happen, and it has not been a problem at all.
Right. So on the flip side of that, though, was there a moment where you really knew that you actually had something that you wanted to kind of push forwards with, right? I mean, you're going down a rabbit hole here, right? So, was there something where you're like, we got something here, let's keep pushing, this is going to be great,
Yeah. So so that was actually the moment when he had the drawings, and he called us and said, okay, guys, I really got it now. I think it's really going to work. It's 12 millimeters thick, 43 millimeters diameter, and I think it's really going to work. And it's all made of a mechanism that's really proven in the engineering industry. For example, a camera lens. So he said, this is going to work, and this is going to last for 5, 10, or maybe forever. This is something really good. So that gave us a lot of confidence. But the moment we saw our first prototype, that was the moment we really we got a video from our producer where he clicked it on and clicked it off, and we were like, wow, that's amazing. And he said it works really well, because they never did something like that either, so they thought it was quite exciting as well to do it.
Yeah.
And they clicked it on and clicked it off, and they said it's really working. So
that's cool. That's cool. So where are you located right now?
In Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. And what's been like the startup culture where you're located? And you've mentioned that you've had some support obviously around you, but are there good incubators, or just an open kind of culture to like learn from mentors and stuff like that? What's the environment like there for a startup?
So I think there's you can get a lot of help, and also more and more people doing their own startups. So we've spoken to quite some people that did a Kickstarter project that are from Amsterdam or around Amsterdam. So those people could help us. Also, so we both come from a large corporate. Also there we could get a lot of help. And also basically through our network of friends. That was by far the most help we could get. So for example, we're both not in the legal area, but we could get a lot of help there from people we know. David is more the finance guy, and I'm more the creative guy, and also that helped us a lot, because our qualities are quite broad. We have to thank our friends most, because whenever we got stuck somewhere, or there was a block, we put it out on Facebook or put it out on WhatsApp and ask people like, does anybody know someone that can help us with a legal thing or a design thing or whatever? And everybody would help us with tips and people, and everybody has been really open and willing to speak to us, and that has been really amazing. So
That's cool. It's great to have that support. I mean, I think a lot of these projects don't succeed without it. It takes a village basically to get these projects off the ground. So I was, the watch industry is really competitive right now, especially on Kickstarter. I mean, I personally have worked on a few of them. When you guys were jumping into this, was that at all a concern, or did you think that you had something that would stand out? And it really wasn't a big worry for you, because I know there's just, again, I'm sure you've seen it. There's a ton of watches. So what was your guys' take on that?
Well, yeah, so we did a really thorough research on all the watch Kickstarter projects that have been out there to see, okay, what's the average amount they want to raise? How many backers did they have? How long did they take it to be fully funded? All kinds of things like that we researched. So we got all the data in and just analyze it and see, okay, what do we need? How many people do we need? What should be our bare minimum to raise? So we did a really thorough analysis, and I think that helped us a lot. Together with when we started our company early 2017, we also with the help of my girlfriend, we built the whole website and put all the social media out, and we just started building content. So yeah, by now, really everybody, like the friends of our friends and the friends of our families, and everybody knows about our project, and that has helped us a lot. So we were quite confident that with only friends, families, and fools, we would already be able to raise our funding goal. But we didn't really know what to expect being out on Kickstarter. We knew that what you said, there's so many projects out there, so it's hard to stand out. We thought we had something special, but then still, if you don't come across our project, you won't even know that we have something special. So we really pushed for and hoped for getting our project funded within 24 hours. So we organized a launch party with all our friends and families, and hope that could give us a push as well towards getting funded within 24 hours. And that, we managed that. So we got funded within 15 hours, which we were obviously really happy with, and we hoped for it. But yeah, still we didn't dare to.
Yeah, you don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. Didn't want to. Yeah. So no, we got really, really happy when that succeeded. From then on, it's now we get a shitload of emails from PR companies.
Sure.
So it's also hard to distinguish, okay, what should we do and what shouldn't we do? And right now running some Facebook campaigns running, and we still get in about 3 to 5 backers a day, something like that, 2 to 5. And that's fine. So we have our campaign is running for 30 more days, so that would mean about 70 to 100 more backers.
Yep.
Which, would be really nice, and everything that comes above that is just great.
Well,
we really it as a start of our company, so that's
cool. Yeah, well, I want to dive into the Kickstarter in just a minute here, but before we get to that, I mean, running a campaign in a small business, and when you've got people working other jobs, it's a hectic time, right? I mean, as you've said, I mean, it's a lot going on, right? A lot of plate spinning. What tools or what do you do to stay organized, just to make sure that you're not missing, anything during this critical part of your company here?
Yeah, so we built a Trello board.
Okay.
Where we organized all the things that were coming up, so all the things we had to organize and fix before. Right now we just really keep together track of our mailbox and answering people. But we call each other all the time to discuss, okay, who's gonna pick up what, who's contacting who. Try all divided, so we still both have our jobs, previous jobs besides as well. So we took some days off, and sometimes we're at the office, sometimes not. And it's really seeing who's able to do what at what moment. And we use Trello a lot to organize ourselves. And now it's mainly keeping the mailbox organized and just make everyday to-do lists. Okay, who's going to do what?
Gotcha.
And very important, I think, and that's our first thing always, to do the communication with our current backers, do it well. So we rather have a few less backers than dive into everything and don't do the things
Sure.
we already do right. So yeah.
Right. It's important. Yeah. Communication is such an important part right now. So it's good to stay on top of it for everybody, you as the project creators, and that communication with backers. It's so important. So, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but let's actually flip over to the Kickstarter. So as of right now, we're talking, you mentioned you've got 31 days to go here. You had I'm in US dollars. I think it's pretty close, but just about a $20,000 goal. And you've crushed that. Obviously, you're sitting at 34,725 right now as we're talking, with 113 backers. So before you launched the campaign, you mentioned that there was, obviously you're working on design and all that sort of stuff. But what was, outside of friends and family, what were you doing content wise to get people to be aware that this project's coming? That the watch is coming here, people. You mentioned you're building a website and stuff with your girlfriend, but what type of content were you trying to create?
So we used the social media, and also there we did some. So we didn't use that much money on our campaign beforehand. So we did a social media. We in the start we did a little bit the trick of like following, liking people, but also really like watches. And from then we started just building and not use any robots or things like that. So our followers are, I think, quite genuine followers. On Facebook, we did some campaigns targeting different target groups to find out, okay, who's our target, which people are most interested in our product. And that's also hard to say because, depends from day to day.
Sure. I mean, did you guys put together like a buyer persona in your mind? Like, we think that the average person is
so we had
40, whatever it might be.
So we had a few of them and also tested them. So, for example, we found out that men between 25 and 45, that's the that was the most important target group, and then a little bit more from 25 to 35, but the difference was not that big, so we could include the 35 to 45 as well in our paid Facebook campaigns. We looked a little bit in which segments. So we did a little bit into the medicals, a little bit into the like barber, retro, vintage kind of area. We also dove a little bit into motorbike riders, because there it might be as well to have the both functionalities. So we made, and we had a few more. So we had a few segments, and we tested, okay, which ones give the best results when we do paid marketing. So this helped us also to grow a little bit the likes on our Facebook page. So we got quite a targeted crowd, and we started an early bird list on our website to see the interest of people, and also we used that on social media to see if there was interest, and also not only from our friends but also from people we didn't know. And that went quite okay. So at a certain moment we felt also confident that it should be able to work.
Did you have did you guys have any metric in mind before you launched? We wanted to have 1,000 email addresses, or was there just any metric you wanted to hit before you pushed the go button?
No, so we got actually a lot of people telling us, okay, you should have that many email addresses or that many followers, or and we have been quite a little stubborn, I think, in that way, because we didn't really take into our. We took it into account, but some people said you need at least 2,000 email addresses or this or that. So we felt more like focusing on quality to see if those people that were on the list, are they really interested. So sometimes approach them, ask them what they liked about the product. So we chose a little bit more for quality than for quantity, I think. But that was also a little bit of a guess, and also so we had a list of a little bit more than 200 email addresses on our early bird list. And we had our social media 400 followers on Instagram, 500 on Facebook, I think, a little bit more than 500. So it was, and on Twitter as well, about 400, I think. So it was, we didn't really know what to expect exactly and how many people would convert. But that turned out. So there were a lot of people that we knew through our network or that were friends from friends. So we could really approach those people and ask them how interested they were. So that made us at least confident that we would be able to reach our goal. Right. It worked out quite well. So maybe we didn't do it the normal way there, but for us, the focus on quality instead of quantity.
That's cool. Yeah. Has there been anything interesting in your dashboard that you're kind of, I don't know, just been intrigued by? Is there, I don't know, a country that you weren't expecting that's really into this? Anything weird standing out?
So Japan, quite some people from Japan. We knew it. Japan watches and Japan that is and also gadgets that might be an interesting combination. But we found it hard in the pre-marketing on Facebook to approach them. Also maybe because of language. But during the Kickstarter we got quite some backers from Japan. Besides that, it's really hard to. It's really hard. We really have no idea what's going to happen the next day. So sometimes you wake up, got 2-3 new backers from whatever country, Israel, France, and United States, and sometimes you get a little bit people from your network again, but it's. Sorry.
No, that's all right. We lost you for a second. I think you're back. So I was going to ask too, like, how did you guys how are you handling shipping with you being in Amsterdam? How are you figuring out shipping across the globe? What's those conversations been like?
So we basically looked into the big shipping companies, so like TNT, DHL. So we looked beforehand. Are we able to ship worldwide, and that shouldn't be any problem. And you can, if we let them know upfront. So there's depending on how many it will be, but let's say there will be 200 watches coming or 200 packages, and we're going to send them out to many different countries. And if we let them know upfront, it's no problem to ship them worldwide.
That's great.
So that's quite fine, and also in that way, Amsterdam is a really good location to be. So
sure. And so let's talk a little bit about what the future might look like. So where do you see sort of the next year going for this type of project? Is it something you're making a bunch of different versions of this? You're running a Kickstarter every year. What do you guys see the future looking like?
So after this we're already building our web shop. So we want to start with web shop, and then also start going to retailers to see first a little bit the small retailers where we really think our products fits in. So we really want to take care of our identity of the brand. We're also working on a smaller watch that is more unisex, so more for the guy that loves a little bit smaller, thinner watch, and also for women. So we have the first sketches there, and we're gonna do the same thing with like the twist and click solution. It will be a little bit different because the watch is different, and so our engineer is working again on it. So we're working on that now also. So we're planning to launch more watches. Haven't really decided on if we're going to do it on Kickstarter or maybe do pre-orders on our website for the next launch. Depends also a little bit on how the Kickstarter thing will evolve. I think it's also a little bit what you said. There's so many watch projects out on Kickstarter. So Kickstarter obviously gives you traffic and also new backers, but it's also a little bit, we also have to analyze, so how much does it give to us and how much does it cost us, or since there are so many projects, you can drown a little bit in the big crowd. So have to analyze that. But we are working on new models, yeah, we want to continue with it and make it really our full-time job. So
that's great. So you've got 31 days to go when we're talking right now, and then it's usually a couple weeks for the money to drop from Kickstarter. But what is the first step out of the gate to get these watches in people's hands? What's the marching orders?
yeah, so yeah, basically directly when it's the 1st of July and our project ends, we're gonna place the order. We got everything already sorted out with our producer, so it's basically to place the order and yeah, and they will start producing with a production time of about 70 days, and then it's up to us to arrange for all the quality controls and everything like that, so everything runs smooth after it's finished, and they can ship it directly to us. And also the same goes for the straps and the chains and cords. Yeah, and there's also some small things we still have to do, like making a manual and stuff like that. But most things we really got sorted out, from watch to all the accessories and packaging, and yeah, so it's a lot about placing orders and get everything.
That's great. That's awesome. So where can people learn more information on the DR.W brand here? How can people learn more about you? Where can people dive into your world? Oh, did we lose you? Uh-oh. See if we lost you there. You coming back? Oh, I might have to bebop and scat here for a little bit here. See if we can't get Reinder back. Yeah. Oh. Come on, Zoom. Power back. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting watch. I like this one just because it had a unique twist on it. So hopefully we can. Again, no pun intended. I don't know why I keep saying that. It must be because I see the word twist here. But yeah, we must have lost him. Let's see if he jumps back here in a second. We'll keep recording here. We'll see if we can't get him back on just to kind of wrap up this interview, because it's I always find it fascinating, these watch companies, just because there's so much that goes into it. Putting together the brand, the image, the styling, the story guides, the product, the products, right? How they look, how they feel. Let's see if we got Reinder back here. Oh, you back?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Well, we're going to wrap up here. I had one last question here. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I just wanted where people can learn more information outside of the Kickstarter. How can people dive into your world, kind of learn about your brand a little bit more, and follow you online?
So our website is drwbrand.com. We've written actually blogs all the way from the start, so might be quite nice if you're into starting your own business or starting your watch company. We really have taken people all the way from the start through our whole journey. So that's where you can find information, and we will also keep posting blogs because I think it's
people
nice
love the behind the scenes stuff, man. People love learning about what you're working on, so it's great.
Yeah, and also I think for Kickstarter, it's for me at least, if I back something on Kickstarter, I also want to know the people and see if I trust them and feel it's a nice story. So yeah.
That's great. Well, Reinder, I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know it's a busy part of a business here when you're running a Kickstarter, and you giving us 40 minutes for me and my listeners to talk about your company is awesome, and I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for the platform. It was really nice to do it, and it's
awesome.
Really nice to talk about the project. So.
That's great, man. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks so much.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.